The action in the middleweight adventure bike category is red hot right now, and it's thanks in no small part to these two newcomers, the KTM 790 Adventure and the Yamaha Tenere 700. They both sit at opposite ends of the adventure bike spectrum, but which one is right for you? Let's go find out.
Both these adventure bikes share some similar specs, but they also sport numerous differences that lend to different types of use. In fact, the Yamaha Tenere 700 is actually a closer rival for KTM's more off-road focused 790 Adventure R, winner of our 2019 Bike Sales Bike of the Year award. So this isn't a direct head-to-head comparison. Instead, it's a snapshot of two relatively new entrants to the middleweight adventure bike scene that show just how diverse our options are becoming in this growing segment. To test these bikes, we saddled up for a 2-day ride from Melbourne to Barmah, exploring the many trails along the Murray River and through the Barmah National Park. Let's start with the KTM. While the 790 Adventure R has a strong off-road edge, the 790 Adventure on test here is a more rounded dual-purpose package. With more road-focused Avon Trail Rider tyres, it has 10mm less front wheel travel than the Yamaha and a generally lower stance with a lower seat height and less legroom. The Kato is wider through its flanks and has a broader, more road bike-like seat. We found its lower handlebar was perfect when sitting, but a little bit too low when standing up on the pegs. On the rally-style Yamaha, however, taller riders in particular will appreciate the extra legroom and more upright screen, but the standard 880mm seat height will be a stretch for most.
Both of these bikes take very different tacks with their electronics and instrumentation. In this case, the KTM has a fancy colour TFT screen.
It's a flash setup with a very comprehensive trip computer and a heap of different modes and settings to tailor the bike to the situation, but you have to navigate a multi-level menu to adjust things.
Yamaha, on the other hand, have kept it very simple with a basic digital LCD setup.
With the simple press of a single off-road button, ABS is deactivated. There's not the same level of information and adjustment as on the KTM, but there's something appealing in its sheer simplicity. Both these bikes are powered by liquid-cooled parallel twins, but the slightly bigger capacity KTM pumps out an extra 23 horsepower and 20 Nm over the Yamaha. The KTM feels a little bit more lively and there's a raspy, raucous edge to its delivery. On the other hand, the Yamaha is super smooth and more docile, especially with our test bike's chunky Pirelli Scorpion Rally knobbies. The Yamaha is ideally suited to off-road work, while the KTM's sportier nature shines on sealed roads as much as it does on the dirt. With its towering seat height, narrow midsection and softer, more compliant suspension, the Yamaha really impressed on the dusty trails along the Murray. The KTM gave a harsher ride over the bigger hits, but it too was remarkably accommodating on the dirt, even with its conservative rubber. The Yamaha feels more like a dirt bike with some on-road ability, whereas the KTM feels more like a road bike that will easily handle some dirt. On these tyres, we'd be less inclined to push the 790 Adventure in slick, muddy conditions. That's more 790 Adventure R territory. But it is a better all-round proposition on the tarmac. There's also a difference in effective fuel range between the two bikes. We found the KTM had a bigger fuel economy and a 4-litre bigger tank, giving a safe range of around 400 kilometres versus 280 kilometres for the Yamaha. That will make a big difference on long-haul trips. In reality, these are two very different machines separated by a whopping price disparity of nearly $4,200.
After a day spent tracing the mighty Murray River, it is clear that both of these are very capable machines. For those with a slightly bigger budget, the KTM offers more balance between road and dirt and is jam-packed with features. On the other hand, the Yamaha is a simple but effective tool for those wanting to spend more time off the beaten track.